Hello and welcome everybody back once again to the TRACKILICIOUS GT3 reverse grid. I am Mike Nause in the booth, and I'm all alone here tonight, unfortunately, but we are here at the lovely Watkins Glen circuit. Hello and welcome everybody that is here. I see all of the cheese emotes that we have already. Love to see it. Hope everyone's having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. We have a jam-packed race here tonight, two 20-minute races with a reverse grid twist involved, of course. The first race is going to be in the order of the qualifying that we are going to be seeing here in a moment when we hop into the session. And of course, after that, the race will come to a conclusion, and then we will flip the grid on its back, and P1 will be starting in P last, and P last will be starting in P1, and so on and so forth throughout the grid. So super exciting. Big thanks to Professor Chronotis, our absolutely legendary admin, for putting this script together and making this dream become a reality here. Everybody has loved it, and it's just been a really popular series. I've got to say, we have 22 drivers on the grid here tonight, but that does not really show just how entertaining these races have been, especially through the mid-pack. Of course, we had a little bit of carnage last week, but beyond that, it has been pretty tame. Of course, we may have a little carnage next week. We'll see. As we take a look onto the next week's calendar here, we see it's going to be absolute Monza madness. It's going to be all Monza all the time. Autodromo Monza will be the choice for the next week. Pretty much every single race. It'll be GT4 rookies, GT3 reverse, not Syntho Drive. Syntho Drive going to be, of course, all on its own. This week going to be our final week, I think. Yes, this is going to be our final week. Coming up next, not this week, obviously next week. A big thank you to Josie Koo for putting that on throughout. This has been absolutely amazing. Syntho Drive, super cool. I think everybody has really been liking it, and we'll see if there's going to be a season 3. Welcome Doc Milway, welcome Holly, and Pinch Out, welcome everybody. Of course, we have the P-Cup stuff coming up as well with our GT3 main event, as well as our GT4 endurance races at Kyalami, or was our first one. Up next will be Bathurst, February 10th. Definitely looking forward to that. Gotta love Bathurst. And, of course, our special events coming up. Midnight at the Mountain is going to be very close to the afterwards. Oh, also, Queen of Vetch, yes, making a great point. There is going to be a GT2 series coming up. Now, it will not be live streamed, probably. It may or may not. It probably will not be, but we'll see. See how many people sign up first off. But do look forward to that over on SimGrid. Link here in chat. Check out the new GT2 Championship, because of course the GT2s have just dropped, and I'd love to hear all of your guys' experiences with it so far and how you guys have been enjoying it. As we take a look over at our one last slide here, we have our Patreon. Sorry, Illipo, I didn't get a chance to correct your name just yet. Illipo's name spelt wrong. I will, in fact, correct that. And also, a newest V8 member edition, Chris McNichol, will be joining that list relatively soon. So big thank you to them, and thank you to all of our Patreon members, especially the V12 Exotics, but all of you guys make what we do here possible with these leagues that we're putting on. Quite a few of them, as you can see by the calendar, and even more that aren't even on there. Definitely super exciting coming up. But really, thank you all, of course, from the bottom of our hearts at TRACKILICIOUS. Absolutely incredible. And driving a Mercedes feels like driving a 750 horsepower Ecoline van. So like driving a bus with way too much power, is that kind of what I'm getting at? Is that a fair description? Well, why don't we hop on into the session here and take a look at the current GT3s that are going to be racing around this track. Black screen of anticipation as we get on into it. We can take a look. It's some times on the board. We have Dink Donk, the Australian driver, leading the time charts by 5/10 currently, half a second over Ricardo Rivera, the Puerto Rican E-Racing Club member, with Eduardo Leighton taking in P3. Oh my goodness! Okay, bit of latency there, but regardless, that is going to be a barrier hit, and potentially one more lap can be done here for Eduardo if he gets out in a timely manner. Darren Thomas also putting on a very nice result in the Warm Soup Royal GT350, the BMW. And did your first pub lobby in the GT2, started 16th out of 26th, and podiumed. Okay, okay. Holly, I gotta say, you are one of the most improved for sure in terms of these leagues, and you love to see it, and keep improving out there, of course. Keep getting better and better, and keep adding those amazing liveries onto the grid as well, because we love all of them. And Queen of Vetch saying 100% that it's like driving a boat. Okay, fair enough. Driving a boat with way too much power, and it can't really turn. Fair. And Chris McNichol. Wait. Send it, Chris. Oh. Which Chris? Oh, Chris McNichol. Yeah, there we go. He's currently in the session. Chris joining us this time. Now, he'd love to see it. This is going to be a split qualifying, so the first part of qualifying going to be lasting 10 minutes, and then after that, we will have a virtual checkered flag that falls for these odd-plated drivers, and then the even-plated drivers will be allowed to take to the circuit. Now, one odd-plated driver I'm seeing here, Jacob Cunningham, now has a time onto the board. I was going to say cutting it fairly close, but does manage to get it on there nonetheless. P9, it is going to be as Scott Sullivan. It does manage to take that position away in the Good Smile Racing. The KM Ferrari is so yummy. We'll take a look at the livery. We'll take a look at the livery for you once he gets out on track. Lots of pretty banging liveries out there tonight. Scott Sullivan definitely being one of those. Jacob Cunningham with a very bright pink and black Audi. The Magenta Motorsports somehow kept it valid through that inner loop there. I have no idea how, but really finding where those track limits are. Just pull up the championship standings here, because of course there are going to be standings on the line. This is a reverse grid race, but, you know, still, all is fun. Emirates leading the championship with 115 points, tied with Dink Donk, actually, the Australian in P2 currently with 115 points as well. Ali Raza coming up in third. Holy smokes, Doc Milwee, 25 stream streak. On a watch streak. That is incredible. Thank you so much, Doc Milwee. Definite contender there for the honorable mention of Server Supporter of the Year. Of course, I mean, there's unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but thank you so much, of course, to Jacob Church for all the support. But Doc, you got to be up there as well in terms of just hours watched. It is incredible. Thank you so, so much. Hire live chicken outside. Oh, the staff just said, yeah, all right. Where do you, what state do you live, Queen of Vetch? Because if that happened around my parts, I don't even think most people would know what to do if they saw a chicken. They'd just probably avoid it and be like, that thing's gonna attack me or something. Also, outside of a Popeyes, don't they have solutions for the, okay, maybe that's bit dark. In Atlanta? Man, I was just down there recently. That's crazy. I would... Fair enough. I guess that's just that southern hospitality, you know? They care for everybody, including the chickens. That's what... They got, yeah, the freshest chicken sandwich. No. Oh, Emirates gonna be coming around the track here. 8/10 off the pace, currently leading the championship, though. We'll see what sort of time is left on the pace here. But for this McLaren, of course, we are still using the LFM BOP. But we have word, though, that we are going to be changing over to the new in-game BOP that just got released with the GT2 update. Now, of course, we're hoping that this car in particular is a little bit less speedy on certain tracks. And Emirates does come to a close there. He's going to be finishing off in P3. Felix Payan going to be coming up into P7 for the number 25 Porsche. Okay. How do I deliver this? I love that, Grant. Brad Grant, first off, welcome. First time chatter. Thank you for joining us. When I go on the Trackalicious, I get a little too ambitious and the others get a little malicious, but it's so delicious. I butchered it a little bit, but that's okay. There's your clip, everybody. That's pretty good, though. I like it. I need to put a little bit more Rage Against the Machine in there. That's kind of, I was going for like a sort of maybe, not Rage Against the Machine, I guess more like a Beastie Boys vibe. Hydrate, thank you. Much needed. I definitely need some more caffeine, that is clear. As we have Ollie Raza, he's going to be taking to the stage here. Our first driver out on track is on his out lap. No, he is on his flyer lap. We were on our first flyer laps. Drink water. All right, fine. I didn't refill my water bottle before this, so we're going to run out pretty quick. Love the taste there of H2O. Clean, crisp, and straight out of a Brita filter. Not sponsored unless, you know, hey Brita. Ollie Raza definitely cooking up a lap here, though. He's been pretty much near pixel perfect. You can see a little bit of a correction there on the wheel. That's nothing out of the ordinary, though, of course. Gonna be sending it into the penultimate corner here. Of course, Watkins Glen, very, very fun track. 3.4 miles with 11 corners, 6 to the left and 5 to the right. Ollie Raza tackling the final right-hander there. And now going to be coming across the line where it's going to be. P3 is what it's going to be for this moment. We'll see if he can improve that. I definitely think he can. As it stands, though, 6 and a bit tenths. Somebody does color commentary. I learned the hard way for not drinking for 80. You know, that's why you gotta keep constant. I got 2 forms of hydration, caffeination and hydration, but you always gotta pre-hydrate as well. It's very important. Any comments on the GT2 DLC? I'm gonna be honest, Brad, I have not had a chance to explore it myself. Unfortunately, I just don't drive as much as I used to, and by as much, I mean I really don't drive anymore, and I know that disappoints a lot of people, but I have not had the opportunity of really talking about it with any quicker drivers or driving myself. But after this race, I can assure you I'm gonna have a nice little chat with Ollie Raza. I know he has been putting in the work there with the GT2s along with a lot of other drivers, but I'd love to hear whatever you guys have in chat to say about it. Anyone in chat, if you guys have experience on those GT2s, let me know what you guys think, because I am looking for that input myself. So we see the KTM is your favorite so far, Vetch. What makes the KTM so great compared to, I know you said the AMG is a bit of a boat, lots of understeer, but very quick. Zuka, welcome. That was tough. P15 for the excuse me, the Gallardo. You love to see it, though. You did this to yourself, you know that, right? Grub, also in the KTM gang. Feels good through the corner. It is a great looking car. That is, I will admit, it's very sleek. It's very futuristic. Our understeer, yeah, okay, you're talking the Ginetta there, or the Gallardo. Understeers like crazy through turn 2 and 3. So as you come in there through the S's, yeah, I could see that. Let's see. Oh, I didn't. Oh no, Jake Wells, what a save! What a save from the 13-year-old boy wonder that is Jacob Wells. I suck at this over at Twitch. No oversteer at the S? No, it's oversteer at the S. Oversteer at the S, okay. Understeer everywhere else. Oh, Zuka, I feel for you, man. It's a high-speed track. And the crossbow, yep. The KTM RC. Is that the... Whoa, 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 Pablo Navarrete. The Argentinian just driving car has had a bit of a crash in the quali session here. Let's take a look at what happened. We'll go on board with him as well, as we're now coming into... Where are we? Oh, way too deep there, wherever we are, and that is going to be straight into the barrier. A foot full of throttle, and unfortunately, that is going to be the end of quali? No, he will have time for one more lap. Suka. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Even with the BOP, it isn't able to compete, but I guess that's what happens when you drive a car that's made in, like, what, 2012? Grant, I love the rhymes. I gotta say. A poet, a true poet. Chris McNichol, I said I'd take a look at this livery. Let's take a look at it. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left of qualifying. With the energy being thrown the way here of the Vetch Motorsports. Well, alright, I wonder where this livery came from. You love to see it, though. Ferrari 296. The Cavallina Rampanti. Got 3 of them currently next to each other on the grid here. P8, 7, and 6. We pop on board and head into the heel. Number 32 car looking to improve here. Currently dead even on the Delta. And how's it going, Jeremy? Thank you very much. Forzy, welcome, welcome. Hope you all are having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. I'm doing wonderful myself. How many Lamborghinis? Let's take a look. We're looking here at... Are you the lone Lamborghini? Yeah, you're the lone Lamborghini. How did that happen? We have 1 Lamborghini on the grid, and it's, what, 3 iterations ago? It's pretty impressive. Here we have the fan favorite, Jason Provolone, coming around to the final corner now. He is not going to be improving on this lap, but he will have another shot at it. It ain't easy being cheesy, and no, it most certainly is not. Whoops, wrong button there. As we hop on board with the 82. I don't know how I managed to go on board there with somebody else. Forzy testing the GT2s. How has that been? We have some words in chat that they've been very understeery, but the Crossbow seems to be the fan favorite so far. Double downshift here through the inner loop, attacking those curbs very aggressively. Double yellow coming up from Professor Kenotis. Gonna be not an impedance though. Washing a little bit wide there, using all the track though to our advantage. Jason Provolone on a pretty good lap so far. Nice and easy there into the left-hander, heading into the shoe complex. Now into the toe. You can see just attacking, getting on that throttle so early, but having a short shift in that Audi, the gearing so short in that car. 4th, 5th gear, now going to be looking for your braking marker off to the left-hand side just before the 100 board. Another short shift up into 3rd to gain that traction. 3 more corners. Bit hesitant there. Struggling to attack the apex through that 3rd to last corner, and with a bit of a milk in the cow moment on exit, that's going to cost him at least a 10th. Sends it into the penultimate corner, almost a little bit too much. That's also going to be about half a 10th down. Now 1 more corner to go. Trying to correct from that from the previous. It's not going to be the greatest sector 3, but as he comes to the line, it is still going to be an improvement, and P13 for Jason Provolone. Dink Donk does take P1 in qualifying, Ollie Raza in 2nd, Ricardo Rivera in 3rd. And Jake Wells almost able to crest into those podium positions, but not quite. As we get in here, we will meet our drivers. And as we have it here, 22 drivers on the field. Quite a bit of diversity in terms of manufacturers, especially here up at the front. We got 3 different cars in the top 3. But starting off here in P1, it is going to be the Australian driver of Dink Donk, the number 277 Aston Martin. Going to be a rocket in the straight line compared to Ollie Raza in the McLaren here, who should be fairly competitive though, in that number P2 McLaren, the Canadian driver, with Ricardo Rivera in the Puerto Rico E Racing Club 787 lined up in 3rd. Jake Wells going to be giving company there in P4. The number 84 Ripline Racing with Emirates behind our current championship leader, tied for our championship lead. It is going to be the Emirates Stardust, number 1 in P5. Pablo Navarrete, the Argentinian, just driving Ferrari 296, which had a very abrupt end to the qualifying with a bit too much throttle and a sudden whack to the barrier. And Chris McNichol going to be lined up next to him in P7 in the Vetch Motorsports. Eduardo Layton, 8th quickest in the number 31, just driving, with Darren Thomas in the Warm Soup Royal GT350, number 613, behind him in P9. Andre Lloyd going to be rounding out our top 10 in the number 937 Porsche, with John Hawley in the Skippy Super Chunky Racing. Professor Chronotis in the Trackalicious number 42, Ferrari 296, lined up in 12th with Jason Provolone at A&Easy Being Cheesy. We saw the end of his qualifying, lined up there in P13. Stephen Music going to be company there in 14th for Provolone in the 466 Ferrari 296. Felix Payan going to be in 15th in the number 25 with Jacob Cunningham behind him in P16. Scott Sullivan, 17th quickest in the Good Smile Racing, with Jeff Franks behind in the Love Wins Racing. Zuka Vinar in the, not Ginetta, the Gallardo, the Lamborghini Gallardo, the only Lamborghini on the grid here tonight, in P19, with Reggie King behind him in 20th, the BMW M&M's number 111. Justin Moffat in that Crazy Rabbits Racing BMW going to be lined up in 21st. And last but not least, it is going to be the Quick AMG of Austin Phelps, the number 19. 22 cars on the grid. This is going to be race 1 of 2, of course. This is the unreversed grid, where up next, of course, we will be seeing the finish results of this race flopped on their head, and the grid will start in the opposite. The cars now getting ready to begin their outlap, 3.4 miles ahead of them. Lethal, welcome, welcome. As I'm just catching up here with chat. And yes, Dink Donk is Australian. What is his real name? Nobody knows. It might be Dink Donk. You never know. But he is definitely Australian. I can confirm that. I've talked with him. He is, well, his words came in upside down, so that was kind of a pretty good tell. Look at this separation we're seeing. Pablo Navarrete. What is this going on? Is this maybe a little bit of foreshadowing for the race to come? Are we going to see these top 4 maybe walk, or top 5 walk away from the backpack? That's honestly a reasonable prediction, if so. Joe, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me, Joe. Appreciate you being here, man. Is there... Why is... I'm not sure what you're speaking about there, unless you're talking about me. Speaking of me, I gotta say, John Hawley, I mentioned it earlier, an absolute livery legend. You gotta say... Oh, he put... Oh my goodness! John Hawley has gone over the top. Look at this. Extra... So this is, of course, a quote by me, because it is a very true quote. Extra crunchy peanut butter is, in fact, the superior peanut butter. There is no arguing that. If you like creamy peanut butter, I'm sorry, but that's just like eating, like, cereal, but without the cereal. Like, you're just eating the milk. I just don't... I personally don't see it, but... I gotta say, throwing me on there, holding the Skippy peanut butter can, that is a really good tribute. That is, I like that one. And what a livery from John Hawley, as well as the camera has gotten tilted. We're gonna try that again. We're gonna give a bit more of an inspection. There we go. Nice. You love to see it. Extra crunchy. Oh, the track map? Oh, you're 100% right. Yeah, it is basically, it's a praying Yeti, is how I look at it. I wish you could make it, but armor paint is way harder to use. I don't know about that, Lethal. The only way you can really get to use it is by trying it. And of course, you know, I've had a dabbling in the past. I've never used the new technology, though. I got to say, the livery technology nowadays is pretty cool. But my Morton Salt McLaren, I got to say, I'm still pretty proud of that. What is Dink Donk doing? He is gone. So as we are going to be gridding up here, we seem to be slightly out of position. I'm not completely sure who is out of position at this stage, but this doesn't look right. As we now are lining up, 2x2 Noah's Ark formation, coming around the final corner. Ali Raza will be on pole position. Lined up next to him is going to be Dink Donk, the number 277 Aston Martin. I'm Mike Nause in the booth as we get ready to go green here for race 1 of Watkins Glen here tonight, the GT3 reverse grid at TRACKILICIOUS. As we're green now, heading down to the first corner of the 90. It's incredibly fast right-hander. A smashing start as well from Ricardo Rivera as he is going to be quickly checked up, having to lift off the throttle as they now head in 2x2. It is going to be Dink Donk stealing the lead away from Ali Raza immediately. Ali going to be slipping down a little bit here. Terrible exit, the Porsche having a look into the S's. We see Jake Wells also under threat from Emirates. 3 wide into the S's for a moment. That is some scary stuff there. Jake Wells, though, going to be gaining that position potentially here onto Ricardo Rivera. So far, though, needs to seal the deal. We're going to go 2 wide into the inner loop, and oh, there's contact! Emirates going to be a little bit laggy, unfortunately, due to his location, and that could have been some netcode involved as we teleport back in there a little bit. I'm not sure what the camera is doing. Everybody, though, so far, nip and tuck as we come through lap 1. We are green, and so far, so clean. Emirates going to be checked off there of Jake Wells. Jake Wells going to be following this lead pack for now. Pablo Navarrete behind. I know that was a little bit of foreshadowing earlier, but it does seem to be true. Pablo Navarrete falling off the back of Emirates. Well, not just yet, actually. Emirates falling off the back of Jake Wells. Now, this is not what I could have predicted. Australia Day today, January 26th. It's Australia. All right. What a way. That is, if he does end up winning or podiuming in the second race and we can get an interview, I'm going to try to remember that one. Please remind me. Uh-oh, Jason Provolone. What's happened with him? I see the fans in... Oh, no, Jason Provolone. What has happened to him? He has plummeted to the back of the grid here. Unfortunately, I missed that. But the fan favorite here tonight is going to be dropped. Very unfortunate. Well, on the bright side, he will have race 2. And that is going to be the reverse grid. So he will have time to catch up, and he will have time in the next one to snag a pretty good podium. Oh my goodness, John Hawley. Confident on the brakes there, you can see. Gaining onto Andre Lloyd very quickly. Up at the front here, we have our podium sitters, Jake Wells. Working the back of Ali Raza. Gonna be in the slipstream here. We're gonna hop on board. You can see the overspeed, but making a move into the inner loop can sometimes be very, very dangerous. And you can see backs off. Very intelligent moves there from Jake Wells. Not gonna be going for anything too rash too early at this stage of the race. Accelerating through the outer loop now. Whoa, very confident. You can see trying to take any advantage there of Ollie, forcing him into a mistake. Ollie, though, a very experienced driver. Obviously not going to be falling prey to anything like that, but the front end of that McLaren from Ali Raza does not look fully planted. Now, is that a tire pressure issue? Or could that be setup? I find it very unlikely on either of them, to be completely honest. Of course, these 3 drivers up the front are esports level. I mean, that is not a question. Ali Raza, obviously, is an esports driver. And we have Mad Dog 765 in chat. Dink Donk is Chris Cooley, and he is Aussie. I'm not going to be honest. If he doesn't want to share his name out in public, I'm not going to be using that, but I appreciate you letting me know that, Mad Dog. Thank you very much. And Cody Blanton, welcome. If he changes his name in the future, though, obviously, you know, that is, yeah. Energy being thrown the way of Provolone, he's going to need it, and Steven throwing a hydrate my way, I'm going to need that. Good call, Steven. You know me too well. Jake Wells working a hole in the back bumper of Ollie Raza. Outside is going to be the line for the outer loop. Is he going to make it happen here? Too wide here can be dangerous, and he backs out again. So hard to make a move there as the back end steps out for Jake Wells. He has to go into countermeasures, and my goodness, thoroughly testing the structural fortitude of those racing trousers is Jake Wells. Let's go on board and watch that one. Whoa, as you can already see the back end gone there through the middle, and he goes full opposite lock, milking the cow, and he saves it. Nicely done from Jake Wells, the young 13. Okay, I'm gonna end that one. He's not 13, everybody. More energy, more passion. I don't know why that came through in my head in an Arnold voice, Wet Socks, but Ricky Racing, welcome. Ricky, Rivers got kicked out from the server, unfortunately. I mean, hopefully he can get back in and get a result. And Ricardo Rivera as well looks like he has plummeted to the back of the grid. Was that due to the same thing? He's down laps. Is that who you were? I think that might have been who you were mentioning. But Ricardo Rivera, unfortunately, dropping there and rejoining the race now, multiple laps behind as a back marker. This is not for position. He's going to be just trying to get enough laps in at this point to start in the front of the grid at the next race. That is his goal. That is the beauty of these reverse grid races, is you can get taken out for whatever reason and you still have a chance in the next race. It really makes it fun, entertaining, and, you know, worst case scenario, you just get knocked out of that one too. And, you know, that's racing, unfortunately, and you just try to improve next time. And you leave safety car map on. Oh. No, I think that, I'm assuming that was on the slip. Maybe, but I would assume not. I'd be surprised if so. Zuka Vinar here doing a great job of defense. Now, this is a car that most people, I'm going to be completely honest, probably haven't even seen if you play ACC and you're, well, if you're newer to ACC. Oh my goodness, Felix Payan exploring track limits there and what the barrier feels like momentarily, and that Aramco, it doesn't feel that good. Luckily, a very light tap and no positions lost for the American driver, Felix here. But chasing down Zuka Vinar, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. This car, I don't think, is particularly great at anything, cornering, straight line, or acceleration. But my goodness, does Zuka have the will and determination to hold this position, and he is going to try. What's my opinion? All right, so we're about to have an ad break in 15 seconds. That's a great, that's a good one to come back to, though. So when we come back from this ad break in 6 seconds for any non-subscribers, of course any subscribers will still have that luxury. Bye everybody. So they're now gone. Thank you subscribers, of course, for all subscribing. You guys are awesome. But when we come back from their ad break, we will be discussing my opinion on mayonnaise and what is the best brand. We'll see if, well, I don't know. Mayonnaise is a tough one, right? I will say, I think most of the world doesn't like it, but we also don't need to derail at this stage of the race because Professor Chronotis has derailed himself. What has happened here? Chronotis unsettles the car through the chicane, through the bus stop, rather. Let's see, sends it in. Oh, wow, way too aggressive on the turn-in. Late turn-in, and the car just never gripped. That could be setup related for sure. And if I had to guess, probably is, but we'll see. Chronotis relinquished down to P18. Looks like he is falling. Oh, now the ad break began. Why did the ad break take so long to begin? All right, whatever. Most of the worlds don't like it. Belgians have entered the chat. Look, I'm glad, because as an American, I love mayonnaise. But I thought that was just like an American thing, to be completely honest. Justin Mothman Moffat. All over the back bumper of Reggie King, heading through the final corner. It looks like he is going to be trying to line something up into the first corner. The 90, going to be one of your best opportunities. I don't even know how to respond. All right, well, when he comes back, I'll think of something. I mean, here we have Felix Payan. Going to be working something up here towards the inner loop. And what is a negative jar of mayonnaise known as a mayonnaise? I don't get that one. Grant, I'm going to be honest, that one flew over my head. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. My opinion on mayonnaise. That's what we're looking for. It's hard to talk, though. I got to say, Felix Payan here is looking to line something up here very quickly. But I will say, I am a fan of... I don't even know what the brand is. Let's be completely honest. It's got to be the... It's the Real Foods. Wait, hold on. No, is it? It's not Kraft. I think it's like Real Foods mayonnaise. Hellmann's. It's Hellmann's mayonnaise. Hellmann's is the brand that I go for. Got to get that squeezable stuff out of the thing because that squeezable container is by far the most convenient way of distributing mayonnaise. Pie is the best made. I will say, so I've actually have a recipe that I've wanted to make that calls for that. So I will have to try that sooner than later. Oh my goodness, Brad, you are. This is just terrible. Like, honestly. Oh, I actually kind of like that one. That's the worst part. I like that one and I hate it simultaneously. They use more yolks. Yeah, yeah, you're right, because they use, they don't use the egg whites, or do they? I don't remember it. But yeah, in that mayonnaise, I think, yeah, they only use the yolks or something. Miracle Whip isn't mayonnaise, but that stuff isn't good. No, it sucks. No, don't tell me. Miracle Whip, man. Next thing you're gonna tell me, you're gonna be eating squeezy cheese or spray cheese out the can. Like, this is heresy. I figured as a Provolone fanbase member and potentially owner, you would be very up to grade on your dairy products. I figured you would be a dairy connoisseur. How do I get these ads to stop they keep interrupting? Well, you can always hit that subscribe button on Twitch using your Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription. You get one free Prime sub every single month. That will get rid of the ads for our channel. Or you can become a Twitch Turbo member, which also, that is going to be just a payment directly to Twitch. And that will be able to get rid of ads on Twitch. Unfortunately, I do have the ads set down to the bare minimum they can go. But still, you know, it is what it is. So that's why you subscribers are so amazing, because we have ads cranked down and don't really make any money off of them. So thank you all so much thank you to our patrons, and thank you to our donors, and thank you to our subscribers, because you guys are amazing. More on this action. Jake Wells keeps trying to go for the inner loop, and I'll say it one time, and I'll say it again and again and again. The inner loop is probably the worst spot to go for an overtake on this track. It's so tempting. It's so tempting. But if you don't have the overspeed, you're never going to get it done on the outside. You're just risking putting yourself into the barrier, really. There are plenty... Grant. Oh. Paula Brady, welcome. Made canned cheese look cool. The Goofy movie? How can the... I've never seen the Goofy movie. And I find that hard to believe how it made canned cheese look cool. And looks, that's the thing, is food can look however it looks. If it doesn't taste good, then I don't want it. This is a lovely three-way battle, by the way. I'm kind of like talking over it. Not much is happening in it just yet, but we are running out of time here. 6 minutes left in this race. These drivers are going to need to start working their way through these positions. Chris McNichol, he's down 2 positions from P7 where he started. Andre Lloyd up 2 as well as Darren Thomas. Eduardo Layton 3. Our biggest gainer, Justin Mothman Moffitt, sitting in P14. He's up 7 positions. And Ricardo Rivera, of course, unfortunately dropping out of the race at one point, is going to be our biggest loser. Oh, here we go. Here we are. Jake Wells sending it side by side into the S's. Now, this might be on here. This is going to have a great amount of overspeed, and the line is going to be there. We're going to see Emirates send it 3 wide. That is going to be ridiculous. Please, Emirates, back out. Oh, Emirates sending it on to Jake Wells now. Jake putting himself into a compromising position. All the McLarens, though, are backing out, and thankfully, there isn't much contact. Oh no, I only do, what? Oh, that sucks, that is. And there's a side character that loves spray cheese like whipped cream. Ah. Oh. Now, whipped cream into the mouth, I'll admit, that one's acceptable if you're not at a party and other people don't have to use the whipped cream. If it's your personal whipped cream, that's all good. But doing that with spray cheese, that's a bit much. Holy smokes, Mason Pirichelli dropping 3 gift subs. Thank you so much, Mason. Absolute legend. Thank you. Mason, one of the newer members, too, in our Trackalicious series, so thank you so much. Ollie Raza, still holding off Jake Wells. My goodness, Jake, if you guys do tune in, of course, twitch.tv/ISuckAtThis, that is where you're going to be able to find Jake Wells' POV. I'm sure he is going to be just fuming at this. Well, not fuming. He's going to be dialed, to be honest, but he wants this position. No, Mason, I actually don't think you should do that. I would appreciate that. I think you should keep your name as it is, and we'll learn it, man. If you want to correct me, if I'm not saying it right, I would love to know how. But I actually, no, it's your name, man. It's your name. Why would you don't make concessions to ignorant Americans. Come on. We're ignorant Americans. We can be not ignorant. This is fine. And what do gift subs do? So basically what a gift sub does is, due to this very, very nice man in chat, has gifted a subscription, which basically allows for ad-free viewing. So if you were to hit that subscribe button, or if you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free Twitch subscription every single month if you link your Twitch account to Amazon. And that will give basically $5 to well, it costs around $5 unless it's on sale. And the Twitch gets half and we get half, so it helps us out tremendously. So all of the subscriptions, you guys make what we do here possible, so thank you all so much. And yes, Vetch, exactly. Oh, Emirates might have bonked the wall. That might have been latency. It's hard to tell. Emirates is, of course, actually driving from UAE, United Arab Emirates, and not quite the greatest ping to the servers, but he has managed to make it work, and it is fairly stable. Just tell him when I get it right. Yeah, just tell me when I get it, especially when I go through and say like 5 different ways, and then you're like, yep, that's right, and that's like, awesome. Now I've just confused myself even more. And Mason, could you at least give me, could you give me one? Could you give me one phonetic breakdown of how you pronounce your name? I gifted subs so they stay off my POV when I crash. I love it. You got it. No, not really. Unfortunately, I can't do much about that one. Felix Pyle. I think that's how you say that name. I might be putting too much spice on it too. It's Perchileski. See, the worst part was when we had like 8 different people trying to correct me in 8 different ways. That one just kind of broke my brain, so. From you, hearing that from you, Perchalski. No, I'm putting too much spice on it still. It's Perchalski. You love it. Is that right? Perchalski? Fair. Still thankful. Oh my goodness. Is it, it's not, you don't, is it catch? Oh, it's catch. It's catch, isn't it? Ah, shoot. It's just catch, isn't it? My Eastern European is probably the worst of my breaking down language. This is the send though, okay. Jake Wells, keeping with it, gets us higher onto the grass. He doesn't get it done. Back end steps out. Still trying to keep onto it. Is Emirates going to steal this position here on the last lap? It looks like he is. Jake is going to be fuming after that. And mash the K, so it's Gvetch. So you do, I actually just assumed one of the, so it's Gvetch, in a way. Is that close? Oh my, what is, oh no! Oh no, what has happened here? Hang on everybody. Okie dokie, we got some, let's see here. What is about to happen? So we're 2 wide here, and we have Scott Sullivan up ahead here in the slipstream. Gonna be looking to make a move, sends it. Oh no, Scott pushes Vinar into the wall, then Chronotis and Provolone get caught up in a separate incident, maybe a bit of distraction playing favor there. Oh, Scott Sullivan. He is going to be kicking himself for that one. You can tell even in his car body language, he feels terrible for that. Scott, one of those drivers that when he makes those mistakes, he learns from them. He is one of the drivers that will learn from those mistakes. And unfortunately, that is, Scott is on an unlucky streak. I think that's a good way of putting it, you know, and that was unfortunately 100% Scott's fault. So the stewards will be having a look at that one. And I'm sure Scott will agree with him 100%. Damaged car at this point. And a damaged morale. That's very unfortunate. We do have our leaders, though, that have already crossed the line. Dink Donk did come across the line in P1. Ali Raza in 2nd. And Emirates in 3rd. Jake Wells relinquished to 4th on the final lap with Eduardo Leighton in 5th. Pablo Navarrete in 6th. Darren Thomas in 7th. Androy Lloyd in 8th. Christopher McNichol in 9th. Steven Music in 10th. And a few more cars left to finish. Now, don't go anywhere, folks, because we do have a bit of an intermission after this, and it is going to be some Stream Racer. And, well, if you're not completely sure what Stream Racer is, do stick around because you will not regret it. And that chicane is a killer. Wii Bowling music. Yes, this is the track, of course, that is Go Bowling. And I nailed the pronunciation. You'd love to see it. Kvetch. Kvetch. Probably got to hit it a bit quicker, but just with time. Got to get it with time. Let's head back to the booth. Welcome back, everybody. And let's get out of the session before my scoreboard decides to update. You'll love to see that. So, Dink Donk with a pretty commanding lead, 6 seconds over Ali Raza. The battle between Emirates, Ali Raza, and Jake Wells, though, was fierce to the very end. Jake Wells putting up a very, very good fight with Ali. Unfortunately, such a good fight that it put him into a position where Emirates could take advantage on the final lap and steal the podium from him. But what a race won. John Hawley, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's see, where did you finish, John? Finishing in P13, not bad. Very respectable. 2 seconds behind Felix Payan. Felix putting up a good show with Jacob Cunningham. We unfortunately didn't get to catch much of that action, but that was a battle that we did miss out on. And it is Australia Day. Yes, it is Australia Day, but we only have post-race interviews in the 2nd race. So we'll see. But if you are watching Dink Donk, or whatever, like I say, if you do want to share your name, I would appreciate that personally, but it is 100% up to you, obviously. If you don't want to disclose that, then don't. But we are getting Stream Racer up and ready here. So do look forward to that. You can hear it in the background. as we pull up our map of choice. Let's see. We're going to be on Juiced. Juiced is the map that we're going on, everybody. It's the famous circuit, in case you guys were curious, located in Malaysia. We head over to Malaysia. We'll head down into the session now, and exclamation mark race if you guys are interested. So welcome back here, as everything is working with the black screen of anticipation. You love to see it. Exclamation mark race. And now what are you typing? Exclamation mark race. What is about to happen for anyone that is confused? Well, we are about to be going into a virtual race where if you are entering this, you're going to be entered as an AI driver, and you'll be battling against the other AI drivers. It really is as simple as that. And we're going to be commentating alongside that. Of course, when you are in the race, if you type exclamation mark boost, B-O-O-S-T, that will make you go very quickly in whatever direction you're facing. So do be very careful with that. We only got 3 people in here. Come on, guys. Exclamation mark race. We still got plenty more room in this session. This is the lowest turnout. Let's go. Come on. There are no sign-up requirements or anything. You just have to have your Twitch existing, and that is literally it. that is the extent of this. We gotta have more than 3 though. Come on, chat. As we wait, we will wait. Are we in an ad or something? There we go. Dr. Porkchop, welcome. Red flag, I know, right? There we go. Wet socks getting here. We must have been in an ad or something. I didn't see it pop up though. But if you are interested, for anyone that didn't hear the exclamation mark race, if you are interested, that will put you in a AI race, and literally all you have to do is type exclamation mark race. It's pretty fun. We have a little leaderboard that I'm putting together. I haven't really put it together yet because, you know, we got a lot that we're doing here at TRACKILICIOUS, but we work on those things. So exclamation mark race will go down to 1 minute at this stage. I'm going to start it up. You got 1 minute and clock on the clock here and counting. If you type exclamation mark boost when you're in the race, you will be going very quickly. So do be careful. Remember, the stream is delayed by about 5 to 10 seconds, somewhere in that range. So make sure you do predict when you use that boost and use it wisely, because it can just put you right into the wall very, very easily. Here we go. 10 people in here. Let's get a few more. Come on, exclamation mark race, everybody. We got Reaper joining us. Welcome, everybody. Rue, paper, scissors. Reaper, Paula Brady, Pinch Out. Grant joining us, Wet Socks, Pork Chop, me, Doc Milwee, and John Hawley. All going to be heading on into this session here on Juiced, the famous Malaysian track. As the countdown is strong. 10 racers on the field here. It's a smaller grid for Stream Racer. I will say the turnouts have been a bit better recently, but that's okay. It's a Thursday. I understand. As we get into the session, who's it going to be? Doc Milwee on sort of pole position is going to be off to a pretty slow start. Sleeping at the wheel there a little bit was Doc Milwee. Rejoining the track safely, though, taking the lead immediately. Oh, and it's bumping and banging as they head on through the S's here. Now down past the grandstand. The boost, oh my goodness. Grant is gone. He is in the next stratosphere. Now heading down, the cones being taken out, side by side battling here between Reaper and Paula Brady as they head down towards the arena hairpin. The barrier gonna be in the way, but is quickly avoided. Oh, the tire wall gonna get Reaper kind of the worst end there. Paula Brady taking the advantage, but Pinch Out really coming out ahead, but he does get caught up by the barrier. John Hawley not going to be helping out at all. Paula Brady getting stumped by that barrier as well. So does Doc Milwee, who is, rejoins in a very poor manner. The stewards will definitely be having a look at that. John Hawley boosting as he heads down the straight. Is he going to make contact with the barrier? Yes, he is. There's a lovely boost thing off to the side. I have no idea what that is. You can see John Hawley struggling with the barriers now through the famous hand truck section. Paula Brady negotiating that very, very nicely, cutting the track just slightly. The barrier, though, still getting the best of her, struggling as well through there. Pinch Out on the double hand truck strategy. Now, that's a very interesting one. He does drop that for the single hand truck strategy. trying to jack up the car. So does John Hawley. Reaper comes rocking into that chicane complex or hairpin complex, whatever you want to call it. A little bit too hot. Pinch out. A little bit too hot as well. Paula Brady is on the strap. Oh, look at me though. I'm coming in. But the cones, man. The cones are tough for me. They're hard to negotiate. But I'm going to take the lead of this race. Let's go if we win this. Through the grandstands again, taking through the bush and the boost pads. Mike Nause in the lead of this race, but I'm going to get hit by the barrier again. Reaper going to be coming up close behind now. Sneaking through very nicely. Only clips the barrier. Going to be going for the outside line. Struggling. Contact. I'm boxing him out to the best of my abilities here, but I get pit maneuvered through the jump. We're running out of track here. It looks like Reaper's gonna get a little bit better landing. Oh, or is he? A perfect flip from me, if I do say so myself. A little humble brag as we come to the line here. I think we're gonna be taking race win here, and it looks like nobody is gonna contest. All right, chat. Rigged? Are these the new ACC, the new GT2 cars? Uh-oh, did I call it too early? Did I count my chickens before they hatched? No. P1, race winner, everybody. You know what that means. Soon after this, of course, the shoey will be soon for Steven, the Steven shoey. John Hawley coming to the line, gonna be stealing the positions. No, he gets caught out by the candy cane barriers. Grant, can he take P2? He does. The end here is a bit of a struggle. The car is not quite negotiating this jump complex, but pinch out flies into P3, literally. What a finish. As it's a photo finish between Porkchop and Reaper as they struggle to get their cars going, stalled out momentarily. Wet Socks taking the tire wall with him, the generous man that he is. Doc Milwee, is he gonna get it? He is. Look at that, vaults over the finish line. You love to see it. The crowd goes wild. Look at from the grandstand view here. Okay, that's all right. We don't get to see it. Game name, this is Stream Racer is what this is. You can see there, you can unlock new cars and stuff if you do go there. You can get points. But look at that. Grant, the newcomer, onto the podium. P2. Pinch out in P3, but I got P1. So 1 second, everybody. You know what that means as we have the tradition from Steven Tomazic. All right. As we come back here, you know what this means, everybody. Hang on. We got to go back to the booth now, don't we? Before we begin. Steven, are you in chat? You better be. If you're not, it's all good. There's always the VOD. Let's get back here to the booth. As we're back into the booth, and then it's, oh, some people may call it a fake shoey. Nah. There's the shoey. Race win, everybody. A hydrate. You love to see it. Get that out of here. Alrighty. Rigged! Yeah, it was a little rigged, I won't lie, but that's alright. No, not really. It's obviously not rigged. God Chaser, welcome, brother, welcome. Happy to have you here, my Ghanaian friend. Pinch out, welcome. So we have a lot of people. Welcome, everyone. And we're going to get back into the ACC session now, of course, as we're probably late. Now that I think about it. Let's see. Well, let's hope we're not late. Let's hope we're right on time. As normally I am right on time. I didn't really check the session, to be completely honest. Ah, shoot. We're all right. Well, it's okay. We're on time. Mostly. We're getting there. But we'll hear the cars in the background. It's more than just my voice. As we get into the session here, got to restart a couple things because you love when the servers restart, but it is what it is. All right. We're going to head on into the session. As we have the cars on their outlap, we'll go through the grid as it is. Starting off in P1. It is going to be Ricardo Rivera, the 787 Puerto Rico E-Racing driver. Lined up next to him will be Zuka Vinar in the, not the Ginetta, I keep wanting to say, in the Gallardo, number 39, Wessex Motorsports. In P3, excuse me, Austin Phelps is going to be lined up in second. in the number 19 Quick AMG. Scott Sullivan going to be bringing home 4th there with a little bit of a poor finish in race 1, but hopefully going to be turning around here in race 2. Jason Provolone starting off P5 with Reggie King behind in 6th. Professor Kanota's 7th fastest with Justin Moffitt in P8. John Hawley going to be 9th in the Super Chunky Racing in the 410 with Felix Payan in P10, rounding out our top 10. Jacob Cunningham is going to be 11th quickest with Steven Music behind in 12th. Chris McNichol Company in P13. Andrew Lloyd going to be 14th with Darren Thomas behind in P15. Pablo Navarrete, P16 for the Argentinian just driving driver. Our Eduardo Layton in the sister car in P17 with Jake Wells behind in P18. And Dink Donk, the Australian, in 19th. Emirates 20th, Ollie Raza in 21st, and starting off at the back of the grid, it is going to be Jeff Franks in the Love Wins Racing, as we have to really hurry that one up because we are running out of time here. But you love to see it, as the cars are going to start their slowdown. We have a little bit more time. I probably could have waited a bit more, but that's okay. Hydrate from Wet Socks as well. Andrew Lloyd should be sponsored by Weber. Why is that? I don't quite get that reference. Let's see here. What is Andrew Lloyd's livery? I don't get it. That one went over my head, Grant. And Reaper wishing everybody luck. Are there any Rockefeller cars out there tonight? Not that I know of. Interesting. No Rockefeller Racing representation. The Triple R. Oh, Andrew Lloyd Webber. Oh, okay. Clever. Clever girl. I was just assuming you were talking about Mark Webber. I was like, what does Mark Webber have to do with anything? No, fair enough. He could make the Weber grill livery. Now that, yeah, the barbecues, yes, Weber, yes, exactly. All right, as we have it, we're going to be coming around the final corner now. Ricardo Rivera on pole position. Austin Phelps lined up in 2nd. I'm Mike Nause in the booth as we get ready to go green here for race 2, the reverse grid of the reverse grid. Checker flag approaching, green flag approaching, and we're green. Zuka Vinar is off to a commanding start, and Austin Phelps is caught dead in the water. Jason Provolone immediately swamping him, so does Scott Sullivan. Into the braking zone, the AMG is going to be a little bit late. Is going to get it locked up in time, though. We see Ricardo Rivera holding the lead. Zuka Vinar behind. Reggie King, it's very side by side as we head into the S's. Contact between the BMW and the Audi. This is going to cause absolute chaos and carnage. There's bumping and banging throughout the field, and that is a big one, ladies and gentlemen. The polystyrene Ferrari board getting thrown every which way, along with all of the carbon fiber that has just come off of these machines. Heading now into the bus stop, though, it is going to be back racing up ahead. Chronotis in P6. Behind him is going to be Chris McNichol. We see there Austin Phelps falling backwards. He started up in P2, now into P8, battling side by side with Justin Moffitt. Not going to be able to hold on to it for now. It's very tricky. Starting in the front can be such an intimidating manner. But I got to say, great job so far from Austin Phelps. He's doing what he can, and that is really more power to him. He's getting swamped every which way. I think he should battle a little bit more, you know. It is what it is, right? I understand when you have the drivers, when you know the drivers behind you are faster, you got to battle a little bit. And there's Ricardo. Oh, contact there between McNichol and Chronotis. This is a bit more spicy of a race, too. A little bit of bumping and a little bit of banging as we have it. A bit further up ahead, Eduardo Layton does get by Austin Phelps. No changes in the lead runners just yet. Ricardo Rivera in 1st, Zuka Vinar in 2nd, and Jason Provolone in 3rd. Scott Sullivan still in 4th position, although we may see a little bit of a change here. Let's see. Not quite. Looking back farther. Oh, my goodness. Another big one. We got to go back and catch that one, folks. Austin Phelps getting involved in that. Let's see what happened. Jake Wells, I think, also. So we're seeing there Jake Wells slip it by the Warm Soup Racing. The McLaren there taps the number 19. And unfortunately, there was nothing Austin could have done. A little bit of a, I mean, oh, that is dangerous. That is very dangerous. That forced a car into pit lane. Who was that? Steven Music, Jacob Cunningham, both in pit lane. Felix Payan into pit lane. Lots of drivers getting caught up on the first lap there. Unfortunate. But we continue back green flags, and there's still plenty of action to be had. Jake Wells now at the lead of, well, sort of at the lead of this train. Dink Donk going to be behind him, and Andrew Lloyd currently in P11. In the Weber Barbecue number 937, hopefully soon to be the Podium Hunters Racing as of now. Ollie Raza gets by Darren Thomas. Darren not quite fighting that the hardest. And through the left-hander, looking for any sorts of opportunities. Another opportunity that's going to be happening potentially. Oh no, Scott Sullivan hits the wall. I was going to say, he could have a run here onto the AMG in front, but that's going to be, or excuse me, onto the Audi in front. That'll be a bit tricky. Ooh, washes wide, maybe picking up a track limit warning there. Got to be very careful. John Hawley, you can see, putting the pressure onto Scott Sullivan. Scott not coping the best with it right now. I wonder if he's still a bit shaken from race one. You got to put that behind you at this stage, though, and remember, we're in a different race, it's a different time, and the past is the past. John Hawley, be careful. He is. Backs out. Jake Wells side by side with Professor Chronotis into the inner loop. Now that is what I mentioned earlier. When you have the overspeed and you have the inside line, it's like the one time that you can make that overtake happen. Other than that, you got to be so bold. Dink Donkey using the outer loop there and the understeer of Professor Chronotis to take that position pretty easily. And Hawley to win? Well, that's going to be a tough one. John Hawley currently sitting in P5, and Ricardo Rivera 5 seconds ahead of Zuka Minard. John Hawley's got a bit of a wall to work through, but I definitely wouldn't count him out for a podium. I would say a P2 is most certainly on the cards at this stage. A P1 would be a, if he can pull a P1, John Hawley would be my new favorite driver. Let's just say that. That would be incredible. Welcome, Carbon. You're not the Carbon, are you? Am I doing the season 4 of the SFR starting on February 2nd? I mean, I'll just say it. Yeah, I am. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but I just did. You asked the question, I'll be honest. Yeah. There's more than one? I don't know. Well, I mean, like, are you the Carbon is what I mean from the past. But yes, I will be commentating the SFR GT Challenge starting on Friday, February 2nd, over on the SFR GT channel, YouTube channel. Yes, it is. Eric here. Awesome. That is the Carbon. Okay. How's it going, Danny? Welcome back. I feel like it's been a fat minute since you've joined us, so welcome. We gonna see you out on track anytime soon? Maybe with the new GT2s? How have you been liking them? I know chat's been a little bit, chat's been pretty happy about the GT2s, at least the responses that I've seen so far. I haven't seen too much negative, only on the AMG is the only negative really I've seen so far. This is Ollie Raza trying to work his way by. Kind of a bit bottlenecked at this stage. Andre Lloyd doing a really good job of defending, but also not able to get by Chronotis at the same time. Yeah, there you go, Eric. Thank you. Nice shout out to Carbon. Absolutely. Well deserved. New fastest lap set by Ricardo Rivera. Absolutely blisteringly quick here tonight, and we'll see if anyone else can contest him by the end of this. Of course, we're seeing a lot of our higher speed runners currently stuck behind the likes of Andre Lloyd as well as Jake Wells actually being a bit of a bottleneck for Dink Donk at the same time. Justin Moffitt might be a little bit of a thorn in the side as well. If they catch him at the wrong time, that could really hinder Jake Wells here. Although it seems this is a matter of when, not if, for this overtake. The pace for Dink Donk seems to be absolutely almost unmatched. In fact, fastest lap now set by the Australian driver. Uh-oh. What has happened? Scott Sullivan and Christopher McNichol have had a little bit of a come together. Let's see, what has resulted here? It looks like Scott Sullivan might have gotten to an unforced error. Oh, Scott Sullivan's... Oh, they're both... Okay, never mind. They're two completely separate incidents. Oh, Scott. I feel for you, Scott. Maybe a little bit of overdriving there, trying to make up from the previous race. And it's just, you know, Scott very had an unlucky time lately. Unfortunately, we missed it. Dink Donk got by Jake Wells as well as Justin Moffitt. Moffitt making it pretty easy there for these guys to have an overtake. Not too much of an issue. My goodness. Cody Blanton gifting 3 subs as well. Thank you so much, Cody. Gifted 8 subs in total to the channel. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for your continued support. You really help what we do here at TRACKILICIOUS. Whoa, Provolone is deep. Jason Provolone doing his best Sum 41 impression, and he is trying to keep up above in his head, but unfortunately John Hawley has gone under him and made the overtake. Next up for John Hawley is going to be Zuka Vinar. There is potentially... well, the podium is now not on. It is here at this stage. Oh, Scott needs to sacrifice. Yeah, he needs to sacrifice like a goat or something. Yeah, like honestly, at this point, he needs something to get him out of this unlucky streak. Yeah, I don't know. Drink the blood of a chicken. I don't. Who knows, man? There's something needs to happen. John Hawley with an outside attempt there, trying to go for the long way around of Zuka Vinar. Zuka not having any of it, but that puts Provolone into a very precarious situation. Oh my goodness, the Australian driver trying to carry the speeder on the outside. The gap closes. He was not fully alongside. That is totally on John Hawley there for his right to close that corner. And that is going to be a position drop, 2 positions drop. Jake Wells gets by Dink Donk. All that progress is undone. Hydrate, great call. Great call. The voice is going, but that's okay. Jake Wells trying to get by Provolone. Provolone could be on for a podium even. Zuka in the Gallardo, doing his best to put in the best lap times he can, but he has 9 minutes to defend. Oh my, that is dangerous stuff. Jake Wells backs out of the final corner there, and that almost allowed Dink Donk, well, not just by, allowed him to really head into the back bumper. THR Snaky, welcome, welcome. And Reaper, thank you again for the hydrate. The Dollar Tree Lambo takes P2 or wins. The win is going to be tough at this point. Ricardo Rivera would be needing, well, it's not knock on wood at this stage, but a disconnect would do the trick. But let's obviously not wish that upon anybody, as he is very far ahead. So I actually switched off the battle. John Hawley, outside attempt here, sends it, carries the speed, and Zuka on that inside. Gonna get onto the throttle. The acceleration is there, but the inside line should be back at it for John Hawley. John Hawley, though, not late on the brakes, not late enough. Keeps with it, keeps the momentum, maximize the minimum speed, and the Gallardo, yes, the Gallardo, it holds on. What is this? This is causing such a problem behind at this stage. Jason Provolone has dropped a couple positions, but is now battling with Dink Donk to try to take the position back. Zuka is a problem child at this point in the race for pretty much everybody that is behind him. And I have a feeling if Zuka loses this position to John, it is going to be a crescendo of position losses. He will not lose just one. He will probably lose about 4 positions in one go. So he has to hold on to this. Oh, John Hawley under threat, but he sends it. John Hawley down the inside, getting a little upset. Oh, and there's contact. Jake Wells into the back bumper, and Dink Donk also off. This is catastrophic at this stage, and John Hawley feels that he's at fault. John Hawley yielding. Let's go back and watch this. So let's take a look. John Hawley sends it. That's good. We're fully alongside. We have it stopped in time now. Was Jake Wells the responsible one? That is going to be the decision of the stewards. You can see there, I think John Hawley maybe didn't yield. I can't tell. I can't tell if that's him feeling bad and yielding or if that's just him going off track. But that was a clean send, I gotta say. Very good use of the emote there. Eric, I think yes. I think that overtake was on it. That angle that we saw, I will admit, was tough. If there was contact between Provolone and Vinar, that would be a different story. But I think that was clean, and I think Jake Wells, unfortunately, will be the one to be looked at there. We'll see, though. We'll see. Jake Wells, regardless, dropped down to P11 as a result, and Dink Donk into P8. Now, Jason Provolone, he is counting his lucky stars currently, because he's on the podium. John Hawley, who was on for a podium finish. Oh, he was so close, too. I think everyone was rooting for him there. Very unfortunate. Got very impatient, sent it on Zuka, and I gotta say, that was a clean send. But what happened, happened, and John Hawley now with a couple positions to make up to get back into the same spot that he was just in. 5 minutes and 33 left to go in the session. It's a tough ask. Watkins Glen, tricky track to overtake on. 3.4 mile circuit with 11 corners, 6 to the left and 5 to the right, and they're basically, no, there isn't a heavy braking zone on this track. There is not a one. Every corner you are carrying the speed, and quite a bit of it. Through the bus stop, Zuka is such a problem for everybody. Zuka is being so difficult at this stage. And you love to see it. Putting on such a good show. Parks it into the middle of the track. What has happened to Jason Provolone? Jason Provolone with a terrible exit, and Ali Raza was not expecting that exit speed. And he comes to a stop. Whoa. What? What happened? John Hawley's wide. Wheel disconnected. Wheel disconnected. Oh, no. You hate to see it. A podium. Oh, Jason Provolone. Gutted. Absolutely. Jason, I think everyone is just gutted at this stage. You're on for a podium. And Cheese Gang in shambles. So unfortunate. Let's put Justin Moffat into the podium positions. I don't think Justin, if he does finish here, if we talk to him, I think he wouldn't have expected himself in this position. 3630, welcome, welcome. Terrible time to join. Pinch out, oh no. Oh, wheel failure, wheel failure. Well, hopefully we don't see any more of that from any other driver. Ali Raza trying to work his magic around the outside of Justin Moffat. Bold. I was watching POV stream. Oh, that's gutting, honestly. Zuka wide. Zuka Vinar is going to lose the position to Justin Moffat, or is he? Justin laid onto the brakes and onto the marbles. Is that going to get him a worse exit now? through the toe. Zuka holds on, but Ollie Raza can't do anything right now. Ollie has to play this patient. He needs to do something, though. He sees that inside line, but he knows that's a terrible idea. Smart driving from Ollie Raza. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, oh, Ollie Raza with a twitch of the wheel. Justin Moffat holding on, and Zuka holds P2. This is insane, the Gallardo. The machine that nobody expected here tonight. We'll get that hydrate here. As we have Ollie Raza. Jason with the hydrate too. Okay, not too many hydrates right now. We're on the last lap, everybody. I gotta have like some sort of, you know, we gotta be talking here. We'll get the hydrates on, we'll get them back in the booth. How about that? Any hydrates from here on will be in the booth. Ollie Raza. Really? One up. We're actually gonna have another lap. Ricardo Rivera is so far ahead, we're gonna have another lap. Yes, as THR Sneaky has just pointed out in chat. That is, yeah, our leader is currently kind of gone. Oh, and Chris McNichol has dropped it on the inner loop on the final lap. I wonder if there was contact. We're going to stick with this battle, though. This is the battle of the century. Zuka Vinar, can he hold on to this P2? This has been 11 laps in the making here. Justin Moffat, inside line, should have every advantage, and John Hawley is spun and takes out Ollie Raza. What? Anything can happen in racing, everybody, and it normally does. This is incredible. Zuka loses the position to Justin Moffat. We have one lap left of this, and Ollie Raza is now in P7, John Hawley in P6. Zuka isn't done, though. He says, no, hang on a minute. I still can get that P2. You may have taken it from me, and it may have taken you 12 laps to do it, but I can take it back. Let's see. Oh, no, Ollie Raza. Oh, my. Ollie Raza's lost it again. This looks to be unforced. Oh, no. Too aggressive into the corner. A correction of the wheel. Oh! Oh, oh, whew. That didn't scare me at all. Oh. Ollie Raza almost reversing into Professor Kenotis. That would have been another one. That could have been a story. Wow. Last lap drama. Chris McNichol loses it again. He has to pull into the pits. He must have a meatball flag. But the story is on Ricardo Rivera. Dominant. Really unmentioned, to be completely honest. And, 20, no, not even, 30 seconds ahead now. And no, Zuka Vinar has dropped the podium to Pablo Navarrete on the final lap. Huge. Zuka has fallen off the pace here at the very end, which is so unfortunate. He managed to hold on for so long. Ricardo Rivera, though, 30 seconds ahead, comes across the line, finishes P1 by an absolute mile. Might literally be a mile, to be honest. We'll see. Up next, Justin Moffat in the Crazy Rabbits Racing. Now, I can't wait. I really hope we can get an interview landed with Justin, because I don't think he expected himself onto this spot, especially in the manner that we saw tonight. And even though it's Australia Day, we unfortunately don't see the Australian driver make it to the podium. Justin Moffat takes P2. Pablo Navarrete, the Argentinian just driving, takes P3. Zuka Vinar relinquished to 4th in the Gallardo on the final lap, and on the penultimate lap, unfortunately drops 2 positions. Dink Donk in the Aston Martin finishes P5. Jake Wells in P6. John Hawley in 7th. Professor Kenotis in 8th. Andre Lloyd in 9th, and Darren Thomas rounding out our top 10, with Scott Sullivan behind him in 11th. What a race. So much action, so much drama. I don't even know how to unpack that one. I'm really looking forward to having a chat with some of these drivers. Let's see if we can land Pablo Navarrete. I'd love to have a word with him. We'll head back to the booth. Welcome back, everybody. As the session comes to an end, and we move on out of there. We will land some post-race interviews here next. That is the plan. Let's see. Who do we got? Nobody yet. You love to see it. Looking for Ricardo Rivera, Justin Moffat, and Pablo Navarrete to head their ways into the green room, please. Justin Moffat, I can rudely grab, and Ricardo Rivera, I can rudely grab. Pablo Navarrete, if you could, or if you are around, if anyone knows Pablo Navarrete and can get in touch with him, that'd be lovely if you could get him down here. And if not, honestly, Zuka, if you're around, I'd like an interview from you as well, because that was kind of deserved. But anyways, let's get into it here. Let's talk with our P2 finisher. Why not? We'll pull down Justin Muffman Moffat.
Oh, hello.
Justin, that's got to feel... How do you feel right? I don't think... I was saying it. I don't think you expected this result, but more power to you. And
congratulations.
I mean, this has to feel amazing.
Yeah. Well, I just took advantage of the carnage.
Well, you did, but you were in the right place at the right time. Not only that, the pressure that you were putting onto the drivers in front of you and the pressure that you had behind you, well, you didn't crack like an egg, and I think that in itself is pretty good win, along with a podium.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
No, excellent drive.
Work pretty hard to get past that the rider there. That thing is so fast in a straight line, so you got to really set it up in the corners.
I was like 22 laps coming, I feel, that overtake. So, well, I know you weren't quite behind for that long, but probably about 15 laps, to be honest. I mean, that was quite the battle. But,
yeah, dude, it takes a while. It was fun, though. It was Vinar did great.
Yeah, he really did. And it's such a thorn in the side of absolutely everybody.
It's fun, though. I like it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You love to see it. And Zuka saying very fun in chat. That was great driving. It well deserved, Zuka. You put on a show here tonight. So did Justin, of course. Yes. Justin, is there anyone you'd like to thank before we move on?
Just my kids for not coming in here and bugging me.
You'll love to hear it. Awesome. Well, Justin, congratulations on your podium. I feel like it's been a while. If not, is this your first Trackalicious podium?
No, I don't think so.
It's been a while. I haven't seen you.
It has been a while. It's been probably since the GT3 / GT4 series.
Wow. Yeah. So it's been a while. Yeah. Well, I hope to see you up here more, Justin. Congratulations.
Well, yeah, thank you. Hopefully I get to join the race. Sometimes I just don't get home in time because my son has basketball practice usually on Thursdays. So
fair enough. Real life always comes first.
That's right. But
well, Justin,
it was a great race.
You have a great rest of your night, man. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Up next will be Ricardo Rivera. Let's see, Ricardo. You're muted. Welcome. Finishing P1 in a dominant measure. Now, I think race 1 or race 2. I don't think there was really much to talk about, unfortunately. Race 1, though. I gotta hear you. What the heck happened? I mean, you disconnected. Was that it? Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. Since everything was looking okay, the pin and everything, but since the race started, Raza that was in front of me, the car was like disappearing and appearing, and then every single car disappeared.
Oh.
And I confirmed with the guys on the chat, and they said, "Yeah, I'm not seeing your car." So
very unfortunate, but. Race 2, you made it up. So 30-second victory. Not bad. I mean, to be fair, the competitors that you would have had, I think, got caught up in a little bit of chaos, carnage. These words could be used. It could be even harsher ones potentially used, but you know.
Yeah, I'm looking at the replay now to see everything that happened.
Yeah, it was quite a bit. There's a lot to catch in the replay. But no, I mean, incredible drive. You didn't put a foot wrong pretty much the entire race. So excellent work.
I at least had some competition by myself. Like I didn't get bored because I was trying to beat the Ding Dong's fastest lap. I think he got a 143.89 and I got a 143.90 something. So it was like 100, and I was like every lap trying to get that lap, and couldn't get it, but at least that kept me entertained.
I like how you engraved that into your brain. I mean, that was literally the down to the decimal point. You nailed that on both fronts. So that was clearly you were thinking about that one for a while. How many seconds was the gap? It was a 30-second gap to Justin Moffat. That was 31.8 to be exact as of crossing the line. So just
actually, I also went to congratulate him. He in the first sector he kept the car side by side, and I think he was trying to actually get a move into a bus stop. We went, I think, almost side by side into the bus stop. So props to him for not letting the foot off the throttle.
Zuka, I gotta say, putting on quite the show in that rider. He really put on some. He was a massive problem for a lot of people tonight, and it was hilarious to watch. So, but yeah, so we are going to be ending it here, Eric. Well, it just you love to hear multiple things, but anyways, thank you very much. Is there anything you'd like to thank Ricardo?
No, everything good. All the team, like always, and everyone who watched the stream. I think I get more fans to you this time. Some people were watching your stream and really like it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I hope we try to provide here as much entertainment. And of course, thank you to everyone that helps us out here because we wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you.
Yep.
But Ricardo,
I'll see you.
Have a great rest of your evening and congratulations on your race win. Sorry about the race one. It happens. That's Simracing, unfortunately. But you'll go out there and kick it in the next one. So great job.
Yep. See you next time.
That was Ricardo Rivera, everybody. P1 finisher. Looks like that's going to be it. No interviews, unfortunately, from the Argentinian of Pablo Navarrete. I'd love to hear from him, though, if he is around, but not this time. As we have it, we are going to be rating. First off, thank you all for all of the subscriptions. I think we had a load of subscriptions here tonight. You guys are absolutely amazing. The gift subs, thank you so much. That's from Eric. I know I'm thanking on his behalf right now, and also on behalf of the entire admin team. You guys make what we do here possible. And make what we do here feel good as well, because it's a lot of work that goes into what we do here, not just from me, from a lot of people involved, and we appreciate it. It makes us feel like what we do here is worth it, so thank you. But as we have it, we are going to be rating. We are going to send it over to Ascori. So go head on over, hit that follow, and let's see how his driving is. As we have it, though, we'll be back, of course, next for the Thursday, so we'll be back Sunday for our GT3 series, so do check that out, put that on the calendar. Until then, I hope you all have a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. Thank you, and good night.